Today, you guys, we're going to be doing a full gear loadout of my Ultralight backpacking kit. Now, when I first started backpacking, Ultralight never really even entered my mind. I had all sorts of ideas of like this stuff I would have, all this gear, creature comforts, and things that were really unattainable. So over time, I got more realistic. And then this past summer, in fact, I actually put a very simple kit together, just the bare minimums that I need to get out in the woods safely, hopefully comfortably, and we'll talk about that, but also with a minimal amount of weight. Now, ultralight backpacking is less than 10 pounds base weight, and this summer when I put everything together, it came in just under 10 pounds. It is December, of course, it's winter now, but I had told you guys I'd put the kit together, so I'm gonna pack it real quick, we'll get the scale out, see how much it weighs and how close we are to that 10 pounds. So, first item I'm gonna pick up here is the backpack. And the pack that we're using is Outdoor Products Arrowhead 8.0. Very inexpensive pack, but you'll see why, because I modified it significantly. And I have a full gear review on the pack itself, if you want to take a look at that, as well as everything I did to get it down to its current weight, which is 17 ounces. I made significant changes. I cut the belt off, there's no brain anymore, and you'll see what I did, but for a really inexpensive pack, 17 ounces isn't bad. So I'm gonna start with the pack, and then I'll start loading it up with gear, and then like I said, at the end, we'll weigh it all out. So Arrowhead 8.0, let me move this water over. First thing I'm gonna pack is the tent, and the tent, guys, is the River Country Products Trekker Tent 1. Man, I've had this now for about a year, really enjoy this tent. I've got, again, a full review on the tent if you want to check it out. And when I pack it, let me show you how I do it. I do not use the outer pack very often. And what I'll do is, it's actually not in a bad spot here, but I'll take it, fold it down pretty small, and then lay it out on the bottom of my pack, which I haven't opened. So let me open that. First things first. All right. So get that right here. The reason I like to do the tin on the bottom, guys, I know a lot of people like to keep it on the outside of the bag, but in a setup like this, I want everything inside, and it's the heaviest item. So when I have it on the bottom of the bag, it works really well for packing, especially because there's no frame in here. All right, so we got that in there. Second item is gonna be my quilt. This is gonna be the REI Magna 30. It's a down quilt, and it's really nice to certain temperatures, right? You can't use it in the wintertime. That's why this kit, realistically, is like a 2-season kit, probably. It's about 3 months of the year I can use it in Colorado. All right, we got that. Now, the next thing is my puffy coat, you guys. And if you saw my last camping video, my hot tin camping video, I've had this for 3 seasons, and I screwed the damn zipper up. I fouled it and have not been able to fix it yet. But this thing is very inexpensive. It's a Swiss Tech coat, maybe 25, 30 bucks, guys. It's synthetic. And what I do is I spray this thing with waterproofing because I don't have a rain coat in here. I don't have a poncho. I also don't have a tarp at all right now. So I went as bare minimum as I could to get this kit out there. And I have used this in the field. So this is, like I say, my puffy coat. I may have to replace it, we'll see. But I will. And it actually, guys, it puffs, it packs down into one pocket, very small, but because the zipper's out like this, I can't. So what I'm gonna do instead is just pack it in the pack, loose, because the weight will be the same. Size-wise, it's a little bigger, but it doesn't really matter. All right. So, the next big thing that I'm going to put in is my cook setup, which is right here and here. And what I have for my cooking setup, and guys, this is base weight, so I don't have fuel for my stove. I don't have water, but I have my filtration system. We'll talk about that. and I don't have any food, right? So there's gonna be other things that go in this pack, of course, before you go camping, but what this is kind of the base setup, everything I need but fuel, water, and food. Here we go. This is the full cook setup. So I've got the Sea to Summit Titanium Sport, pretty standard piece of gear, especially if someone wants to eat some of that mountain dry or some of that freeze dry. It's really long. So I've got that, and then I've got inside of this, I've got a little cat food can stove. Again, full video. I'll put all the videos I'm talking about, guys, they'll be linked in the descriptions below. But cat food can stove, and when I'm just out there doing some simple trips, there's no easier way. You don't need a pot stand. The cup sits right on it to cook. Very, very easy. And windscreen is gonna be foil. And then the cup itself is a Toaks titanium cup, but it's a 375 milliliter, guys. So it's very small. It's the only one I could find. I actually wanted to get the 500. They didn't have it, so I got this one. The good thing is that's enough water to cook those single serving meals. So I can actually, with this little setup, get my windscreen out. Don't knock it over. And bam, good to go. Now let me grab fuel for this. Actually, I was going to show you what I use for fuel, even though I'm not carrying it in the pack. And this little stove, guys, is an alcohol stove. If you haven't used one, here in Colorado, we can use them all the way typically till I think a stage 2 fire ban. Rocky Mountain National Park, you can never use one of these. But in a lot of places, an alcohol stove, traditional way of cooking, is not a bad way to go. It takes a lot longer. Some people hate them, but it's quiet as can be. You can hear the woods around you. And like I say, it's more traditional, kind of fun to do because it's DIY. So, denatured alcohol is the fuel for the stove. I carry that typically in a little Martinelli's apple juice bottle. Fits really nice in the bag. I get 3 nights out of this with breakfast, hot coffee, and hot dinners. So let me go put this back. All right, so I've got all that together. And I'm gonna be putting this right in here. All right, so that is all the big stuff. That's all the big stuff right now that I'm going to be putting in. So let me go ahead and close this up and talk a little bit about what I'm going to be putting in the outside of the pack. So first thing is going to be tent stakes. And I need a few of them for this tent. But I've got all aluminum stakes. They're not titanium, but they are aluminum, so they're pretty lightweight. I've got my first aid kit. Minimal, right? I've got Band-Aids, Advil, sunscreen, little thing of triple antibiotic, and then I've got a little a sanitary towel, a little 10-inch by 8-inch towel that's compressed. So you can open that, get it wet, and you've got a towel to clean off if needed. So I've got that for first aid. I'm gonna put that in here as well. For the headlamp, guys, that I'm using is the Vaunt Spark, and this thing is pretty damn lightweight. This is with batteries in it. I was just showing you there's power, so I'm calculating the weight of the batteries as well. Water I'll do here in a second. Pocket knife that I'm going to be using is Swiss Army. I like the scissors, I like the tweezers, I use it a lot. For fire and for lighting things, I've got 2 sources. I've got a Bic lighter, and Bics, guys, about as good as they get. And then to back that up, in case I lose it, which does happen, or if like a flint falls out and it doesn't work, a pack of Strike Anywhere matches, always good to have. And if you were really ambitious, when I was a kid, we would take Strike Anywhere matches, and we'd get a candle and light it, and then we would dip the heads of the matches in wax, so that we would hope they'd be waterproof, and then we would still test them and they'd strike, but I don't do that anymore. Put these in here. Let's see, a few more items. Whistle. These are so important, guys. Every trip I say, take a whistle with you. You can call for help with this all day, even though your voice is giving out. Mine's starting to, because I'm talking. This is something though, if you don't have a whistle in your pack, get one today. They're $1. This one maybe was $2 because it has a compass and a magnifying glass and a thermometer on it, but get a whistle, all right? That's important. Let's see here. This is my power supply and charging cable for my phone. Phone, guys, is something I use for communication when I can. I like to take pictures and videos, but also GPS. I use an app that allows me to, anytime, no matter where I'm at, even if out of signal, see where I'm at, track where I'm at, and I need that phone because I use that for my mat almost all the time. So battery charger and power cord. Actually, I'm gonna put this in this part in the back, and then this in the front. And then, guys, I've got, hold on, I'm gonna get water. My throat's a little dry. Hold on. Give me a little something to drink here. All right. Now we've got shovel, some toilet paper, right? Some basic necessities that you might need when you're out in the field. Pretty standard. I just remembered I forgot something too, so I'm gonna have to run out to the garage and grab it. Now for water filtration, I'm using the Sawyer Mini. Remember, this is something you don't want to ever get below freezing, right? So in the wintertime, I'm either using tabs or I'm trying to melt snow. But in good weather, in the warmer months, the Sawyer filters are good to go. The Mini, by the way, is the only filter I've ever used, guys. I've had a few of these. Several people have told me to get the Squeeze and that the Squeeze's throughput is much better. We'll see, but Sawyer Mini, as well as a smart water bottle. And guys, I should have 2 of these. So there's one piece of kit I'm missing. That's an empty smart water bottle. I need 2 of these. So when I was using this setup, I had 2 bottles, one for dirty water, one for clean. And then I would filter into the clean one and then keep the other bottle full of dirty water as I hiked. And, you know, knowing where I was at that time of year, I was good to go. If I needed to throw a bladder in for extra, you know, capacity, I could have. But didn't really need to. So I'm gonna put this on the outside pocket. All right, I forgot my paracord carabiner for my bear bag. I need to open this up and put it back in. As well as my bear bag, put food in. Got that going. All right, now for my sleep mat, what I use, oh, I didn't zip it. Hold on, give me a second. All right, properly zipped. The sleeping mat I use, guys, is the Thermarest Z-Lite, and this by itself was probably the most problematic part of this whole setup, and what I might think about adding another pound or so, or pound and a half for, is a very little air mat, excuse me, to go with this, because it just wasn't quite enough for me to get off the ground. I've used it on the ground comfortably before, but when I started doing this regularly with this setup, that's not great. So let's go ahead and clip this thing on the bottom. All right. I went to edit the video and realized that I forgot to put all my extra clothing in as well, and that's not a true gear loadout if I don't have the clothing in there that I'm going to be carrying. So I think I mentioned it before, when I'm hiking, guys, I'll have an underlayer shirt on and a mid-layer breathable, typically long sleeve, that when I start the hike in, I'm usually wearing both of those. Puffy coat's already in here, so other than what I'm wearing in the puffy, with this setup, the gear I'm going to be taking is, extra clothing I should say, is first of all a beanie or a stocking hat, something for warmth that I can wear at nighttime or when it gets cold out and when I sleep. I'm also going to take an extra pair of merino wool socks. So I love merino wool socks no matter what time of year, and I like to have an extra pair with me. With 2 pairs, if I get one dirty, I can wash them, hang them on my pack while I hike, and dry them out. Pair of undies, underwear. And guys, when I'm hiking, I like to wear these compression undershorts, like underwear. And the reason is I'm a big old guy and I like to make sure there's nothing down there rubbing or chafing, and those do a great job if you haven't tried them. So let me go ahead and put that in the pack. And then additionally, guys, I bring a full pair of synthetic thermals. And these are for sleeping and nighttime. But also the shirt, if I needed to use that when I'm hiking, I can. I can use it in the daytime if needed. But that full pair of synthetic thermals. So, got the clothing in here, got all the gear. I'm gonna grab the scale and let's just see what this whole thing weighs, and then I'll end it with a few final thoughts. Oh, I just remembered, guys, one thing I'm forgetting. Remember, I have the one smart water bottle here that's empty, and then I will be using another one that's full on a trip. Water is not counted as part of the weight, right, for a loadout, so I don't have that full bottle, but when I leave, I would just grab a new smart water, throw it in the pack, and then be good to go. 2, that Tokes cup is the only cup I have. I'm cooking and drinking out of that for this setup. And I forgot there's a little plastic lip that goes on the edge of that cup so you can drink out of it without burning your lips. That's the only thing I don't have in here. So whatever that little plastic piece is, that's the one piece of gear I'm not weighing. Let me get the scale. All right, let's see here. So 9.9 pounds, just under 10. Like I said, just under 10 pounds. And that's the loadout as is, guys. So with this kit, one thing I'll say as I put it on here, let's take a look at it, is I hiked really well with it. There's no hip belt, there's no frame. I was a little concerned about that, but no real problems with it. Still have the sternum strap here for a little extra support. But on this trip, guys, the idea was just to go as simple as possible, as basic as possible, go with as few pieces of gear as I could, but still be comfortable, still be safe. This thing rides very easily. It's very comfortable to walk in. This is how I walk, just so you know. And like I said, I was worried about it, but no, man, I like it. So in the right months when it's warm enough, I can use this setup. Guys, I appreciate you watching the loadout. Just wanted to throw out there how I put a full kit together that's less than 10 pounds. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.
I'm just stuck here in a dream. Long, long, long. I'm just stuck here in a dream.